is good.
He's alive. Go get our boy. One American behind enemy lines. Wounded, surrounded. We bring him home.
Viper 1-2. Hang in there. We're coming. Danger close. Keep your heads down.
Colonel, let's go home.
Package secure. Heading to extract.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Table of Titans. It is Thursday again, and we've got Influence Inc. on you guys because it just seems like a shit show this week. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We are running a man down here at this point. Rdoc is MIA here at this point, but I got the boys with me. Still got a Tron and a space shot and a whole lot of news and a little bit of funnies that we're all going to go over because it's been an absolutely crazy week. Let's see some 5x5s in chat if you think it's crazy. And where's the boss at? There's a whole bunch of interesting things we want to cover. Got lots on top of my head. Mr. Tron, what is going on, sir?
Boom time, baby. The boss is everywhere at the same time. I'm absolutely loving it. And speaking of boss, his wife, again, our beautiful first lady, activated out of nowhere. And this is a perfect example. Like we were talking before the show, guys, like we never know what's going to come next. Moves and counter moves. And the best part is that we are participating in this precipice. Boss taking over the oil. Oh no, the end of civilizations. I can't believe it. World War III. Oh, Donald Trump chickened out. I can't believe he didn't do World War III. I absolutely love it, guys. The president of peace. Hit that thumbs up. Let's roll.
Exactly. Mr. Space Shot, sir, how are you doing this morning? Afternoon, night, wherever you're at.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, whatever the case may be. I'm actually just finishing up, just sent you something that I'll send you a link to in our DM there. You were asking me if I was showing up to the show, so I just answered you. No, but I added something as well. But how is it going out there, my fellow world patriots? It is a bananas week, right? And we were expecting things to ramp up, and guess what? Little hint. I think they're going to ramp up even more before it subsides. So, expect that. I would fully expect that. We got a lot of craziness going on there, a lot of finger pointing. Trump kind of went scorched earth. Even Danny Scabs went scorched earth. I don't think I've ever seen him swear in a tweet before. Ron, I know you watch his tweet thread a lot more, closely than I do. Has he tweeted any swears like that?
A handful of times,
really?
But it's very rare, and that means Dan is activated as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, activated those eyes. So I know Hulk's got a bunch of links, and we got a bunch of stuff to get over, and always want to thank the mods for their wonderful help, myself, these guys, and a bunch of others out there. Always can't forget to say hello to Country and the folks. Big hat tip to them over at Liberty-Based News, formerly the Patriot News Crew, where we got this whole big shindig off the air, off the ground, about 8 years ago. And Hulk, I actually sent you and Rdoc a link. One was our first show, and the other one was mine and Rdoc's first show. And he goes, was that the one where you, what did he say? He goes, is that the famous bathroom open mic show? And I'm like, no, I think I was solo when I left the mic open and literally walked 50 feet down the house and then took a left another 10 feet. And I was like, there's no way people would hear me. And I'm like, yeah, they heard me. But anyways, back to you, Hulkinator.
oh God, it's way better than the wiener flipper on the live stream over there on YouTube. I'll tell you that any day. That was actually. So let's get into some of this stuff. Ghost Murmur by Lockheed Martin Skunkworks. Your heart is beating. We will find you. 40 miles up, dude. Yeah, special tech coming over from the CIA because they got stuff that's only at the discretion of the president. And we're locked on to a heartbeat out there. We've seen these in the movies before, guys. There's a whole bunch of interesting tech on this. I wonder if I actually got the little clip for it. I could probably grab it. I just thought it was interesting, something I want to share with you guys out there. Do I have it right here? Check this out, guys. We'll just throw a little bit more on top of this.
Exactly does it work? To understand ghost murmur, you have to look at the physics of the human body. Every single time your heart beats, your muscles depolarize, generating a faint electromagnetic field. Normally, a doctor has to place sensors directly onto your bare chest just to read it. Ghost murmur takes that concept and scales it up to a battlefield level using long-range quantum magnetometry. The core of a system relies on microscopic, engineered defects inside synthetic diamonds known as metrogen vacancy centers. At the quantum level, these defects are hypersensitive to even the smallest fluctuations in magnetic fields. When mounted on a helicopter, these quantum sensors cast a massive, invisible net over the landscape, registering the microscopic electromagnetic footprint of a human heart from miles away. But there is a catch. A quantum sensor is almost too good. It absorbs everything. A modern battlefield is flooded with electromagnetic noise. The Earth's natural magnetic fields, solar radiation, enemy radar, and radio chatter. If you look at the raw data, it's just pure static.
So on top of that, they threw AI on top of it to basically bring down the noise so they could focus on one particular area. So I just thought it was interesting the way Radcliffe came out, talked about it on the CIA, about all the interesting stuff that only at the discretion of the president. Thoughts?
Well, yeah, this is like Jason Bourne type of stuff. And like you said, central casting, we have discombobulator, we have the ghost murmur. And it, you know, makes you wonder, what else do we have? You know, this stuff was around forever. This is sonar in Batman. This is in Call of Duty. They even have a heartbeat sensor in there. And then, you know, at some point, it's almost like, you know, when are we going to be impressed? Give us those anti-gravitics, but again, small steps. And, you know, we can use this application for good, rescuing pilots, but also think about what this can do to the enemy. So this is absolutely fantastic, and also makes you think, hey, going back to John G. Trump, Nikola Tesla, frequency, and now all of a sudden this technology is being unleashed. Fascinating, and only Boss can do this. So happy that we are getting a little peek. Give us more.
What was screaming into the back of my head as soon as I saw this story is heart attacks can be deadly. And I wonder if they can actually tell the heartbeat of a particular person. Just saying.
That's what I'm wondering, like. And maybe I might have sounded like I was talking out of a potato can because apparently my computer decided to go to the laptop mic earlier. But we're back to good. Yes, dude. I'm just wondering, like, you know, obviously they must not have tech like this, right? But you know, you got to wonder, like, geez, if they can hear your freaking heartbeat now, I want that for some hunting.
Yeah, they're saying 40 miles up, so or 40 miles away is the number I keep hearing. I thought that was impressive there at that side. Offers does not apply to missing generals.
Not that one.
That's the missing. We'll get to him. UFO guy. There's a whole bunch of them that are missing now, but we'll get to that part later. And I did find out Jamaica has entered the war with an ICBM to give world peace, and here it is. Jamaica creates intercontinental missile capable of bringing peace to the world in 72 hours. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll spark that right up. And I'll tell you what, dude, this is the key to success. I mean, you want world peace, just drop some torpedoes of Rastafari and some Bob Marley records, and you're ready to rock and roll. I mean, again, why not? You know, it's more
take
fun.
Those immigrants. Just be chill, man. Just be chill.
Oh, you guys are too funny. All right, Tron, here's your list right here. Go ahead and hit that one off as we go to the influencer side.
Guys, Danny Scabs, there are many dedicated people in government who could leave tomorrow and earn tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and so-called influencers on social media, but they chose to serve the American people instead, all while the so-called influencers talk shit all day long and get paid big money for clicks and impressions. We see you. And this goes back to the very beginning, not only loyalty, but again, we see you, we hear you. Lord de Rothschild was in those drops, and it goes way back, guys. And I'm glad you put this right after the Ghost Murmur. Imagine what the Q team has and had, and you know, we see all, we hear all, we have it all. Again, and here's Danny Scabs hitting it hard. And remember, Patriots, that you know, a lot of people in Boss's circle could have easily took that route and just wrote the book, did the biography, blah, 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 and retire like many have done in the past, and Dan included. But But man, I'll tell you what, this is ramping up to kind of show us who's who. And most importantly, follow the money. These people are getting paid. The binder crew, the influencer crew, and just take it for their actions and their words. They're not good.
Yeah, $7,000 a post crew. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, $300 for a retweet. There's one guy that you send him a Cash App and he'll retweet you. $300. You believe it?
Holy crap!
Really?
I'd rather buy some bots.
It's bad.
All right, second half, Mr. Space Shot. Here's this for you.
Oh boy. Then he finishes with but I don't really care about all that stuff. LAMFO, GFC. Okay. So Donald Trump. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have been fighting me for years, especially by the fact they think it's wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. And everyone else knows it, too. Look at the past. Look at the record. Look at their records, excuse me. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they can get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them. And their views are the opposite of MAGA, or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of, quote, Trump. Not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who wouldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox. He's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous, quote, only Rosie O'Donnell question. Or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France, this part's hilarious to me, First Lady of France, of being a man when she's not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is far more beautiful woman than Candace, in fact. Dude, I can't. It's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things. He's lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they will be... Oh, wait, hold on. All right, now fake news CNN, the failing New York Times, and all the other radical left news organizations are, quote, hailing them and giving them, quote, positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not, quote, MAGA. They're just losers, just trying to latch on to MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to. But when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go, quote, nasty. Just like Marjorie Trader Brown. Brown, huh? But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing the right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength in not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again, and these people have no idea how to do that. But I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. And I'll just add to this is, I think these conversations that these people that he's ousting right now are absolutely necessary to furthering the whole getting rid of each person in Congress having an APAC guy, for example.
Yeah. Just want to make sure you were done. Tron, You want to decode that for me? Tell me what you think.
No, again, this like Space Shot said, this is necessary. And whether, Tucker, Megyn Kelly, Candace, Alex, and a handful of others are doing this organically, or are they, again, problem, reaction, solution. How many times do we have to go this route where certain situations are used for example? So like I've been saying since the this third administration, our boss needs our back 1,000%. We're gonna finish what we started, and there can't be any dissent. There can't be, oh, you should be doing this and that. I get it. We can have a conversation and whatnot, but to be so adamant where you're allegedly swaying elections. And let's be honest, none of these individuals have any effect on midterms whatsoever. Now, the other aspect is, well, do they? I mean, there's a lot of, the gas price, blah, blah, blah. But you have to remember, between now and November is a huge amount of time for us to get rolling on anything. So let's take care of this now. Let them show themselves for who they are. Let them get demonetized. Let them get maybe sued. I mean, because this is influence. This is money coming from somewhere, and it might even be our tax money. And let's remember what happened with Bannon in the files. Over 1,400 mentions of Bannon, like corroborating with Epstein behind the scenes to take down a Donald Trump. Oh, that was for his movie. Get the hell out of here. No one's watching that dirty ass movie. He's a Sesame Street character. He's a loser. He's non-MAGA, and he's also getting in trouble for that Chinese guangui. Oh, take down
That's
the
true.
CCP. And he was selling border tickets to build the wall that was never built. I mean, I don't know, man. At some point, you're either MAGA or you're not, and this is it.
Yeah, the only thing I disagree about this whole thing, about this list I just read off, is Tim Pool's not on the list with Kyle Seraphin. I don't know what's going on. Can we put those two guys on there?
Actually, Hulk, I've sent it in our DM. It's a whole, I don't know if we can watch the whole thing, but it's a whole 14 seconds. And no, I was not watching Timcast. It literally started playing when another video I was listening to ended. And this part particularly was on. And I'm like, oh, that's a cute conspiracy theory. I wonder if anybody else is talking like this.
Yeah, let's throw this on there. Mr. Good Old Kent.
When Joe Kent left, rumors started circulating that he is not enemies with Trump. He's actually a friend of Trump. Trump saved him. This is a coordinated campaign. Joe Kent leaving and criticizing the war is intentional.
I don't know. I don't know about
I'm
that
just
one.
saying. Well, dude, listen. Like I said, right? You either have people like Candace, Joe Kent going out on blast doing this, or we never have that conversation. Period.
Yeah, but these guys are crazy because he's even complaining that he's kind of off the list and he lost his studio and losing money and nobody's watching his shit anymore. Good. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he's a freaking doink. Anyways, give me just 30 seconds. I got to shut this oven off.
Yeah, no problem. We'll go on to the next story here as we keep rolling. What else do we got here? Long as we're talking about influencer Eek, whatever you want to call it here. As mentioned earlier in the chat right here, good old Hunter Biden made it up back on Channel 5, the internet interview group, and he said this.
Hey guys, Hunter Biden here. I just got a call from Andrew Callahan. He asked me to come out on the Channel 5 Carnival Tour at the end of the month. I think we start in Phoenix and then we go to San Diego and we end in Albuquerque. And I think he's trying to organize a cage match, me versus Eric and Don Jr. I told him I'd do it.
So they're going to do a cage match, or at least that's what he's saying here at this point, but he wants to find Don Jr. and the other brother at the same time, I guess. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go down, but yeah, since he no longer lives in the United States anymore and he still owes $15 million to that lawyer dude and a whole bunch of other people, he doesn't have that generational wealth, so might as well do some WWE stuff. What are your thoughts, guys?
Dude,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even catch that.
Yeah, this just came out a few hours or whatnot ago, but yeah, in the afternoon. And again, central casting. This is how you keep the certain actors on the front stage. Where's Hunter? Oh, now he's working with Don Jr. to do what? Like it's so unreal. Like if you're not in America, or even for America, it's like what the hell's going on? This guy should be arrested. The laptop, all that stuff. And here he is promoting, events. And again, it makes you wonder, the kayfabe keeping these people in the spotlight, and then where's the father at? Where's Joe at? Where's Sleepy Joe? So again, it goes in, it goes out, and hopefully there's some kind of justice. But not surprised, man. Soap opera must continue.
Exactly. So guess who's also available to run for president? Came out yesterday. That's right. Oh wait, right here. That's right. Michael Avenatti has been released from jail early. Time off for good behavior. He was originally sentenced for 11 years and 3 months in prison, but served only 4 after his release here. I'm still wondering that whole deal with him and Nike and Mark Garagos, where they were trying to squeeze Nike for $25 million. Don't worry about it. We'll just pretend we're work there. and we'll show up and you pay us a paycheck. We'll do what we want to. We won't say nothing about that whole background thing of all these elite people paying these colleges to get on special sports teams so we can get free tuition, this and that, and special access to this and that. Yeah, dude, whatever happened to that story? I don't know either.
Never got prosecuted on that at all? No, huh?
They went after him going after Stormy Daniels.
Oh, boy. The Storm. Stormy the Storm Daniels. I think I'm about to be initiated into a cult or something. That was a cute tweet of hers many moons ago.
Yeah, yeah. He was also, remember, way back when, because he was one of the lawyers for the Brofman trial with Keith Raniere, and the hell was the name of that cult, the sex cult they had with Stormy Daniels at the same time? NXIVM. And remember, the judge had asked Michelle Brofman, isn't Michael Avenatti your lawyer? Because he got arrested this morning. They had to cancel the trial the rest of the day. Yeah, it wasn't good.
We have a continuance on this one, Your Honor.
All right. On to some other interesting things here that happened in my local area. Ran into this. Guy's got an Arabic name out here, and he doesn't like toilet paper, but he wishes he got paid more. Oh, that's loud. Bring that down a little bit. So this right here is 3% of the entire toiletry products for the United States. 3% right here. It is about 2 blocks from my house, and it's the largest warehouse fire, 1.2 million square feet burned. Yeah, I just used a Zippo lighter, didn't tell nobody, and started lighting all the stacks on fire, and I found burnt toilet paper all over the neighborhood. It could have burned down a good chunk of this whole area here.
All you had to do was pay us enough to live.
Pay us enough to live.
Your inventory.
So he's worried
He's just
about
hanging
pay.
out, dude.
So this is what it looked like at 8 o'clock that night. So when we start seeing these weird things happening like this, it's the see something, say something type of idea here. This might be a disgruntled worker. Could be a terrorist act of some sort going after the toilet paper. I'm not entirely sure, but it does create chaos is the biggest thing we got to remember. And, you know, as we're rolling over with what's going on in the war, what's happening here in the Southland, very important that we pay attention to what's going on here. So pretty crazy waking that up to Friday morning. Go, why does it smell like smoke and there's burnt toilet paper all over the neighborhood?
Dude, I'd be having flashbacks of all the other fires around, you know, and wondering if this is like something that's coming. Is it going to keep spreading? That's bad.
California loves their fires, and maybe this is a warning that we're having a new pandemic. Get your toilet paper early.
Exactly. And then Space Shot goes like, oh, yeah, we had a chemical fire, blah, 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 in Rhode Island about, what is it, 20 minutes from you or something?
Yeah, it's like 7 miles away. So, yeah, it was like 15, 20-minute ride. Some chemical explosion, right? Somewhat on the water as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, interesting things that are happening out there. So let's get into some other stories as we're going to. Did you guys hear we went to the moon, guys? We got pictures of the dark side of the moon. Here we go.
Bullshit.
What the?
That's JD's bum bum.
I got you guys. I got it. All right, let's go into the real photo because this was it there. This is what they had put out, that they did the whole circle around and took pictures of the dark side of the moon and posted out there, was able to see the sunset and go across the earth, and they took a picture of the whole earth and blah, 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 all that fun jazz as we're all talking about space aliens and human hybrid programs that they all start talking about with Tim and the rest of the guys out there. Some really interesting things, but we went back to the moon. There's no cheese on there. We did find that out. No cheese. So,
dude, there was plenty of cheese. Very cheesy.
There's no cheese. I didn't find any cheese.
It was very cheesy. Did you happen to notice the guy's hands?
There's the earth right there.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful earth.
Yeah. All the shit you posted all got fact checked, by the way.
Who?
Space Shot's like, look at this guy and this and that. And I'm like, oh, look, I look right here. And it's the first thing is the freaking community notes and saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, you guys keep going. Keep going.
What you actually bought that, dude? Don't tell me you bought that launch, dude, because there was so much fakery in that. Don't even get me started. I can go for 20 minutes, dude. Believe me, I could go for 20
But then
minutes.
what do people see from their their home when they looked out in Florida and they saw
That's Project Bluebeam. Even the guy on the plane was able to see it too, that filmed the launch from Florida, flying over the plane, so you could actually see the fake horizon off in the distance, and then the whole fake laser show 3D thing going with Project Bluebeam, right? Is that what we're saying?
Was there video of them going in, like waving and locking it up? I mean, do they lock it? I mean, I don't know.
Well, they filmed the whole thing, so I don't know. We'll find out.
It's been 50 years. I'm not impressed. We got to do better. That's why Elon was silent the whole time. He didn't say anything. No Godspeed, good luck, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All sorts of CGI. Did you see the little plushie that they were pushing around? You could see through it at certain points. That was pretty interesting.
No shadow in the Nutella commercial.
The Nutella commercial, I saw that too. So yeah, he's excited. He bought pizza for everybody because they're returning tomorrow, I think. So he bought like a couple $1,000s of pizza, and people are pointing out he's not using government money. He used his own money to buy pizza for everybody in NASA control room. Well, wow, that's kind of cool. So he's excited the direction it's going. For the people who believe we went to around the moon and back, or the flat earthers, I don't know where to put you. You can take it with your own grain of salt, but they're arriving back tomorrow. They're going to be landing in the ocean over here down off of San Diego.
It'll be in that toilet paper factory. You'll see.
Yeah, it's going to land right there with the rest of the meteors. There's going to be aliens coming out. It's going to have a great time. They're going to bring pizza, is what I heard. Not that kind of pizza, the real pizza. A deep dish.
I wonder what's more risky, coming back or going there? Because the coming back will be kind of fun to see how that works out.
It's probably going up because making sure the rocket doesn't blow up.
Yeah.
That would be the hardest thing to see. What else do we got in here? Let's get into some of this other stuff here. Let's get into the rest of the missing scientists, because there's another one missing, and we might as well just talk all about it since we're talking about aliens and moons and all those things.
Is now reporting a 9th scientist with ties to NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab has been added to the growing list of researchers across the country who have died under mysterious circumstances or disappeared. Fox News senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has the details. Hey, Kevin.
Afternoon to you, Will. Mike Hicks was a research scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL, and apparently he died back in July of 2023 at the age of 59. But the cause of death was never made public, and no record of an autopsy being performed on him has ever been found. Now, on its face, that might not sound like such a big deal, but his is, as you point out, the 9th case of a person with ties to America's space and nuclear secrets who has died or mysteriously vanished in recent years, including retired Air Force General Bill McCaslin, who was reported missing by his wife more than a month ago. He'd been studying unidentified anomalous phenomena and potential non-human intelligence. Now, in common speak, that simply means aliens. And to be sure, the trend of unexplained deaths and disappearances is setting off alarm bells, both among national security experts and among lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
I think there's a message being sent in all this. I think we better be really careful, and it's more than 8. You take any other profession in the world, take car salesmen. How many of those have disappeared or died mysteriously in this in this country? And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of those. This is a very, very small group of people, and we better start paying attention to what's going on.
The great Tim Burchett speaking there. Another scientist missing, Monica Reza, JPL's Director of Materials Processing. She vanished without a trace last June, just months after beginning her tenure at the NASA lab. And perhaps most vexing of all, because of the nature of the research being conducted and the unusual circumstances surrounding many of these disappearances and deaths, we have scant new information, Will, about leads, though the investigation, we are told, at this very hour does continue. Will.
Yeah, so a bunch of people missing over there in Arizona and across these different areas, all tied to aliens. And of course, Tim and the rest of the group all been talking about alien hybrids, type breeding systems and all that. Anna Paul Luna was talking about it. So you're a big core group of that you would expect to tote the line for the UFO stuff has been saying some really weird shit lately in the last week or so. So thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think. We did have that Malaysian airplane disappear. Boss brought up Amelia Earhart out of nowhere. We know about Arkansides and whatnot. And now we're in, these scientists are disappearing, they're dying, or are they going into some sort of protective custody? I mean, again, we have to protect our homeland, our information, whether it's the AI race or just technology as a whole. This might fall under homeland security. And you have to remember, this is NASA, JPL, and also the Los Alamos National Laboratory, where all those secret operations and programs go down. So it's drawing attention, and the fact that Fox News is kind of taking the conspiracy angle. And remember, we're still looking for Nancy Guthrie's grandmother, whoever they are. And, it makes you wonder what is happening and what's going on. Yeah, that MIT fusion scientist as well. I mean, curious, very curious.
Yeah, there's no coincidence whatsoever. So I don't know if these people are taking out or basically cordon off, and then maybe they're working on some sort of disclosure. I don't know. I'm sure we'll never hear from them again. I'm not sure.
Well, Hulk, like you were saying earlier about the heartbeat thing, it doesn't apply to, missing scientists or whatever. It's like, no, it only applies to the ones they want to find, right? Wink, wink. And this is, let me just read this Rumble rant. Postmiz, new name for me, dropped a $1 holler, says, I know I'm just a new, quote, viewer and listen often as I work, but on a live stream, I really miss real, bleep blop, talking people I can associate with voices. I'll elaborate in the comments where there's more space. So I think they want to see our faces, Hulk.
Uh-oh.
We get mixed bags on that one. Some people say
we're going to start OnlyFans then.
Only feats. Some people say, we appreciate that you don't, because, you don't make it about you. Some people want to see, and we've just always done that from the very beginning. That's just how we've done it.
Yeah, pretty much. And plus, we're old and ugly anyway, so you wouldn't want to see us anyways.
I'm horribly disfigured in my face.
Exactly. You could break a mirror with that thing. Let's keep going. We got some hacks going on here, guys, when the FBI fixed it for you. Go ahead and read this one off there, Mr. Space Shot.
Alrighty. Iran-affiliated cyber actors are targeting operational technology devices across United States critical infrastructure, including programmable logic controllers. These attacks have led to diminished PLC functionality, manipulation of display data, and, in some cases, operational disruption and financial loss. All these different organizations are urging U.S. organizations, especially municipalities and those in water and energy sectors, to review the tactics, techniques, and procedures and indicators of compromise detailed in this advisory. Applying the recommended mitigations will reduce the risk of compromise. So they're still playing games.
So we're still getting hacked. These PLC controllers do a lot of infrastructure items, opening, closing valves, those types of things, waterworks, electricity, and they could be hacked pretty easily and taken offline or flood a particular area, turn off power. Those types of things is what they could do with these things. So they're telling them to harden up with some of their infrastructures. They start going in through some of these stories that we ran into. So the FBI was nice enough to, we hacked your router to protect you. Has become a repeatable law enforcement tool. The courts keep saying yes, and this is fine. The FBI broke into your home router just recently. Everybody across the United States are using the same bug the Russians used. Armed with a court order instead of a Kremlin directive, the FBI patched the router, reset the DNS, and blocked re-entry, pulled forensic log. Third time that they've done this in the exchange since 2021. So just in case you're paying attention to, because they said that they banned all the routers that were out there, and I would say that anything that is currently produced going forward with no changes will still be currently offered, and you continually to buy. If that particular router is updated with anything in there, it will have to go back through the legalese, and it have to be tested and all those sort of things, which means most of the parts would have to come from the United States. So off the cuff right now, they're saying, you can still buy all this stuff. It's not going to be a big issue as long as the manufacturers don't change the way it works. If they do, they'd have to do this. But the FBI and our government is coming in every couple of years and wiping out either it was SolarWinds hack, remember, in 2020, with the biggest hack of that the United States has ever had. perpetrated by China right before the election. Yeah, bummer. Yeah, exactly.
The biggest one ever, right? And I don't think they ever
Yep.
resolved that. So, yeah, that's what my question was going to be. Like, we still have the biggest hack in the history of the world unresolved, as far as I understand. But, did they do something with the internet? Dude, I still don't understand what those dormant internet IP addresses that went live after he left office.
Exactly.
I don't know what that was about, but I feel like it has something important to do. But I'm not a tech guy.
Yeah. Yeah. To give a little color on there, the United States government owns like 25 million IPs, which is delegated to them and only them. Since they don't use it, it's kind of Wild West, and threat actors jump on it every so often because it's a number, it's a highway, it's there, even though nobody's using it and the government owns it. They can kind of control both sides of that lane and send traffic in there because it's kind of Wild West and nobody is there. When Trump left office, they flipped all those things on and saying all that information is now coming back to our source point to some guy in Florida. I forgot the name of the company, but they gave him 25 million IPs and told him to go to town on there, and they flipped them all on, and which means the vacuum information was sucked up at that time. And it was on for a couple of weeks until the Biden administration turned it off. So interesting things, just never had an explanation of why. Remember that?
That was wild. It was like, what the hell are they doing with that stuff? Maybe we'll find out one day.
Yeah, here's another one. Here, you want to read that for everybody?
More hackers. A hacker has allegedly stolen a vast trove of sensitive data, including classified defense documents and missile schematics from a Chinese state-run supercomputer in what could be the largest data breach in the country's history. The data set, reportedly exceeding 10 petabytes, is believed to have been taken from the National Supercomputing Center in Tianjin, which serves over 6,000 clients, including scientific and defense institutions. CNN. That's crazy, dude.
So somebody out there on the internet went and hacked the China's supposed supercomputer that was not supposed to be hackable. Well, over 6 months, they downloaded 10,000 terabytes of information over 6 months. Everything that was in the computer, like their NSA shit, is what they're basically getting to. And you can currently go buy it for like $4,000 off the internet right now. They'll sell it to you right now. A couple of the things that they're pointing out, we're getting to the other side. Where's my photos? So things that we're getting into, this one appears to be an island on an aircraft carrier, presumably U.S., being hit by a bomb or a missile. The image on the right shows the island after the explosion itself. So they're doing, explosions, doing aircraft, this and that. So this is simulating bomb attacks on an aircraft carrier, some of the things that China's thinking about. Or if you just want to get kind of the coefficient of the pressure off of one of the B-2 bombers that we have. So just interesting things that they have and the things that are out there. So the things that are becoming a hack and now are being leaked out. So interesting things. More of this stuff came out. This came out a day ago, I think. So it doesn't look very good for China here at this point of them being hacked out there. So yeah, great stuff.
You just called Tron a Dago? Come on, dude.
Maybe not. A Winnebago? Here's another one I thought was interesting. Here, you could read that, Mr. Space Shot.
All right. Why did Elon do a deal with Intel? The secret is GaN, gallium nitride. GaN-based electronics are inherently more radiation tolerant or radiation hard than traditional silicon devices, making them better suited for use in space environments where radiation exposure is high. My dad built the chips for use in our military satellites, and he told me decades ago about gallium nitride. So this caught my eye. I think most people would miss this. Thanks, Dad. Intel Foundry.
Yep.
And it's GaN chiplet.
So this means that Elon Musk, for his next things of SpaceX and the internet routers going up in space, they're using Intel's technology for their silicon because they use the special chemical which is more radiant resistant. So yay, interesting things. Because I just saw this on the 8th that they partnered together. So yay. So that's happening out there. The other thing to be paying attention to, you can read this for everybody too, Mr. Space Shot. This will help out with power.
Oh, good. 3 companies make 75% of the world's large gas turbines: GE, Vernova, Siemens, Energy, and Mitsubishi Power. All three have backlogs stretching to 2029 or 2030, and wait times have gone from 2 or 3 years to 5 or 7. Bloomberg estimates more than $400 billion in planned gas plants could be delayed or canceled because there aren't enough turbines being made. Damn.
So the demand for these AI data centers are outstripping power to even produce it. And everybody wants to buy these. And I went and looked, and like most of these companies, at least 3/4 of them are in the United States, which I found interesting. Siemens got some Germany stuff over there, but a good chunk of them are here in the United States with planned expansion over the next year or so, but production is going to take a while as they want to make those special blades that are in there for the turbines over there because they don't want to take them from the jet production and military use. They're going to these guys that are specifically making them for the gas turbines. And then Elon Musk is like getting 10 or 20 of these for his big giant AI data center that he's doing. So he's way down on the list. So he's going to be one of the first ones to get there. The list of data centers under construction in the United States in 2026. Look at that. Texas, 135, Virginia, 134, Georgia, 51, Ohio, 45. And as we start to go down, probably half of this list is going to disappear in probably a year and a half that they won't be able to make these. So some of them are in motion, which means that they already have concrete poured, but they don't have power availability. They're hoping that somebody's going to come by, or they can go buy themselves a power plant like Elon Musk did. Just disassemble it, ship it on a boat, bring it over to Texas, and we'll set it up over there. Or no, it's Kentucky is where he's putting that gas power plant. So he bypassed that thing. Instead of waiting for one to be built, he just went and bought one and moved it.
Where's my state? I don't see one in my state.
Nope, you don't get it. You're getting closer. You get it's Virginia. Virginia's a pretty big data center out there.
Not enough land here. I mean, like I've said before, there's just not enough land for that stuff. And didn't we have a company, or was it a Japanese country ran, or was it a country out of Japan? Weren't they going to be providing like these portable power plants or whatever the hell they were going to be? You know what I'm talking about?
No, that was the United States one that they did. They started producing 1 megawatt nuclear plutonium, whatever, like the size of a cargo container. And they're starting to mass produce those now at 1 gigawatt. Gigawatt? I think it's a gigawatt or kilowatt. I don't know. But either one of those, they are starting to test them up in Utah at one of the military bases. Remember, they shipped 4 of them over there, but those are being made inside the United States. So those are good things for us. But we just got to wait for Trump's his cold fusion system to come around on 2028 because he's doing a 50 megawatt plant. Yeah, they're 1 megawatts is what it is. He's doing a 50 megawatt plant on that cold fusion stuff that they talked about.
What would
so
do you have any idea
down.
what a one gigawatt or whatever that would be? What would that power roughly? Do you have any clue?
Well, if you're going to make a brand new gas fired plant, they are 1,500 megawatts when you build one. Oh, wow. So Trump's group is building a 500 megawatt. Sorry, 500 megawatt is what they're building. So it's 1/3 of the normal side. They normally get above 1,000, 1,200, 1,500. So that's going to feed like, probably 20, 30,000 homes easily or more.
Oh, really? Wow. And then the portable or a lot smaller anyway, right?
Yeah, it'd be, probably thousands for those. But they're going to be easier to connect because the way they're going to do that is they're not going to allow more plants to be built, or they're going to say, okay, you're going to expand, you're going to use this technology, so don't add more natural gas. We're going to use cold fusion this or this particular megawatt. Just make some space on the side. You can hook it up over there. And then eventually they're just like, we'll make them the size of a card. You put them in your house. And then you won't need to have power whatsoever. And then eventually you'll be able to go to Home Depot and buy a power-free refrigerator, those types of things. But they can't start there first. That'd freak out everybody.
When they really catch up to Nikola Tesla over 100 years ago, then we'll just be able to get, the energy coming out of the ionosphere essentially. But, we're not there yet.
What else do we got? Cyber Division, second little update on this today. The FBI and the Justice Department announced Operation Masquerade. The court authorized technical disruption of the Russian GRU infrastructure. So Operation Masquerade was the name of that, used to steal government, military, and critical infrastructure. Since 2024, cyber unit within Russian military intelligence tracking the APT-28 Fancy Bear. We all know about them. That's the one who got the Podesta group out there. And Force Blizzard has conducted DNS hijacking campaign worldwide. The GRU's compromised routers used in home businesses and stealing emails, passwords, authentication tokens, and high-value intelligence assets and targets. So that's what they were talking about, going in there and patching your router in your house while you didn't know. So yeah, they've been doing that quite a bit. So this is a little expansion of what they were doing, what they're looking at, and the name of the operation they were going after. So I just thought all that stuff was interesting. What else do we got? The Iran technology, that was PLC out there. Okay, here's another one we got to be paying attention to, because Sam Altman's not only got issues with his sister and the sexual allegations of rape.
I'm Attorney General James Uffmeyer. Today we are launching an investigation into OpenAI. The development and rollout of artificial intelligence is a monumental leap in technology, but it has not been without concern for public safety and national security. AI is built on its ability to gather data, and there are concerns about whether OpenAI's data and AI technologies that could be used against America are falling into the hands of America's enemies, such as the Chinese Communist Party. OpenAI's ChatGPT has also been linked to criminal behavior, including child sex abuse material, use by child predators, and the encouragement of suicide and self-harm. We've also learned that ChatGPT may likely have been used to assist the murderer in the recent mass school shooting at Florida State University that tragically took 2 lives. AI should exist to supplement, support, and advance mankind, not lead to an existential crisis or our ultimate demise. As big tech rolls out these technologies, they should not, they cannot put our safety and security at risk. We support innovation, but that doesn't give any company the right to endanger our children, facilitate criminal activity, empower America's enemies, or threaten our national security. Companies that do so will be held accountable to the fullest extent.
Yeah, you guys are going to jail. So, obviously they're talking about the person that went through a roadside bomb in front of the military installation and went off, and then they ran away and then used ChatGPT to how to figure out how they can get away with the crime and leave the country. So yeah, nobody reported them. So including the other deaths that are associated with ChatGPT. It's just interesting that it's finally taking this long to get to this point where they're going to actually take a look at it. So we're going to find out what's going to happen with that. So that's that. What else do we have for you? Oh yeah, here's another one right here. Mr. Space Shot, would you read this a little bit here? Because they got some interesting more with
Sure.
OpenAI.
No problem. OpenAI filed a letter yesterday warning that Elon's lawsuit could, quote, cripple the nonprofit foundation. 24 hours later, Elon amended his complaint to send all damages directly to that foundation. The timing matters, but the math matters more. Before the restructuring, OpenAI's nonprofit was entitled to the vast majority of the company's cash flows. Greg Brockman said, quote, all but a fraction of earnings would go back to the world through profit caps. After restructuring, the nonprofit got 26%, Microsoft got 27%, employees and investors got 47%. The nonprofit went from owning essentially everything to owning less than Microsoft. Elon's filing doesn't just redirect money, it asks the court to unwind the for-profit conversion entirely and restore the nonprofit's original structure. But if that happens, every dollar of OpenAI's $500 billion valuation flows back under nonprofit governance. This is why the, quote, he's doing it for competitive reasons argument has a structural problem. A plaintiff who wants to strengthen the defendant's nonprofit arm and remove its CEO from the nonprofit board isn't trying to destroy OpenAI. He's trying to restore the version of OpenAI that recruited its first 50 employees. Trial starts April 27 in Oakland. Jury selection is going to be very interesting for OpenAI's lawyers now. Oh, because this is when he was chipping in the beginning, right? Didn't Elon kind of walk away from these guys pretty early on?
Yep. Yeah, because they got burnt and they were going to go public and start selling pieces of the company off. He's like, dude, we supposed to do this for mankind. And then, Sam's like, nah, we're going to chase dollars because everybody wants a piece of this. And they were high on the hog at the time, dude. They had the biggest piece of the market. It's falling apart right now. Really bad for them. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah. Here, as long as we're talking, you guys all remember Google and Deep Dream and whatnot right there? Remember their whole AI thing? They've been rolling since the early 2000s here. I thought this was interesting here, where this gentleman, he is the CEO of Google's DeepMind, admitted that the decision would have been his. He would have cured cancer before anybody ever used ChatGPT. So he's saying that there was a push from inside the company that they could have used the information to use it for good for America or the world itself, like solve cancer. But they decided to basically move it into a ChatGPT type style system, or Copilot or Deep Dream or anything else you want to call it. It started releasing it as a commercial lever here. He's saying he would have waited years and figured that out first, do the cancer thing, some of the other stuff to help out humanity, and then started thinking about doing some chat stuff and getting it released out on the market. He said he was overridden. So that's kind of an interesting thing up here, but that guy's saying, and what he would have chose to done with the AI Deep Dream.
Oh, so actually help humanity rather than, what was that quote? Chasing the dollars, you said? Yeah, that's all they care about is the money, money, money. They give a crap about humans.
That's pretty much. So that's a little bit more about AI here. Oh, yeah, I thought this was cool if nobody's paying attention. Here, Space Shot, read that.
All right, hold on. Google built an invisible watermark into every image Gemini has ever generated. Really? Over 10 billion pieces of content marked. One unemployed engineer just cracked it open with 200 black images and math. It's called Reverse Synth ID. Synth ID is Google DeepMind's invisible watermark. It's embedded at the pixel level into every image, video, audio, and text generated by Gemini. Invisible to the human eye, designed to survive cropping, compression, screenshots, and format changes. It was supposed to be unbreakable. Here's how he broke it. Generated 200 pure black and pure white images from Gemini.
I don't think we need to go into the detail. No. But the interesting thing is that they're marking everything that you had ever used with Google DeepMind or the Gemini system itself. Everything is marked. And we were trying to get away from that by putting, remember 20% of the black marks on memes so we could bypass the AI stuff? Yeah. They're saying, too, they're monitoring you no matter what you do. Cropping, compression, screenshots. You change the video over, the information is still embedded in there and they can still track it.
There's got to be somebody, I bet you they already have an app for it that can basically expose this, can look at the video and say, yes, it has Synth ID in it or not, which is actually kind of a good thing, I guess, to a certain extent, because then we can see if certain fake videos are actually fake, right? If people try to say, oh, I didn't do that, that was AI, well, you can actually look at it and say, obviously it wasn't done by this one.
Yeah, the whole DeepMind thing. Deep fakes are coming, guys. In another year or so, we won't be able to tell the difference. Another thing I want to throw out here, I thought this was interesting. Here, read this for everybody.
Sam Altman has admitted he's on a wait list for a procedure that would digitize his brain. The procedure would kill him. What? He considers this an acceptable trade for digital immortality. This is the person making decisions about the future of artificial intelligence for hundreds of millions of users. A man who views ending his own biological life as a reasonable step towards uploading his consciousness to the cloud. These are not the priorities of a stable leader. They're not crazy. What is it when you're rich? It's called eccentric, right?
Keep reading.
Nectum, the Portland, Oregon tech company that Sam Altman is on the wait list for since 2016 to kill him so they can upload his brain to the internet, which would allow him to live forever, just confirmed that they have successfully reanimated a dead pig's brain, meaning they're about to be ready to take human brains like Sam Altman's and upload their consciousness online. An entire mammalian brain has been successfully preserved using a technique that would now be offered to people who are terminally ill. The intention is to preserve all the neural information through thought necessary to one day reconstruct the mind of the person. Oh my God, this guy's bad. It once belonged to. This person they're quoting, they would need to donate their brain and body for scientific research in Portland, Oregon, a research company focused on memory preservation. Quote, but what we are offering as a company is for their body and brain to be kept, essentially indefinitely, in the hope that sometime in the future it will be possible to read out the information from the brain and reconstruct the person to allow them to continue, in effect, with their life. Hulk, what do they do with the soul?
Yeah, the whole transcendence thing, we've seen that. This is that human hybrid type system where they want to basically live forever. So yeah, it's interesting that Sam Altman's been thinking about the same thing and doing the, instead of just freezing your brain like Walt Disney, they're going to take a digital print of the brain itself. So yeah, it should be interesting. Oh, good Lord. And he's the leader of that. Okay, here's another one here. This says, in 19 days, a jury is going to decide whether the entire legal foundation of the AI industry is built on fraud. Everyone thinks that Musk versus Altman's lawsuit is a billionaire grudge match. Two egos, one grudge on $150 billion in damages designed for headlines. Easy to dismiss, easy to scroll past. What exactly Altman wants you to think, because it's actually on trial. It's April 27th, meaning it's much bigger, blah, blah. The jury's going to decide whether you can legally take billions of dollars in nonprofit donations and use them to build the most valued technology in human history, and then quietly convert that nonprofit into a for-profit company for $850 billion. If the answer is no, the entire AI industry has a problem, because OpenAI is not the only company that did this. Anthropic was founded by OpenAI directors using the same nonprofit first mission language. XAI pitched itself as building AI for humanity. Every frontier lab used the moral cover, we're doing this for the good of the world, to attract talent, capitalize regulatory goodwill. They will have never gotten it otherwise. Elon win doesn't just torch OpenAI. It creates a legal precedent that every AI company built on the nonprofit or public benefit promises to become vulnerable to shareholder and donor clawback suits. And it also goes on top of, where'd they get all their information from? Did they pay for all that copyright stuff? That's all rolled up into here. So it might get interesting the way this is going to happen in a couple of weeks about AI.
I got a question for you guys, for you, Tron, and you, and everybody in the chat. Let's say we wake up and, I don't know, tomorrow and the rest of our life, AI is gone. That would make me happy. I'm just so sick of everything being AI, and like now it's like, oh, power is going to go up. People are being charged more for electricity. Then we have to worry about the shortages. Also, we can have what? A friggin' database with information in it that only they allow us to see. Oh, it's kind of like Google 2.0, but it thinks. And again, I was using it recently, and I do talk to it like it's a person sometimes. I'm like, listen, you just gave me Bush League answer. Like, I get a limited amount of questions per day. Are you going to credit me one question? It's like, oh, unfortunately, the platform does that. I don't do it. I'm like, you gave, and I asked, because I asked it about DLive. When's the last day I can stream on DLive? It's like, oh, we've heard nothing about anything on DLive. You must be hearing internet rumors. And I'm like, here's DLive's tweet. And it was like, oh, yeah, you're right to push back on that. So it's half the time it's giving you just absolutely BS, incorrect answers. And then beyond that, it's like, it seems like so much about all this money going into it, right? I could care less if all these guys fall on their face and they're all homeless after this. I really could care less about that.
Well, would you rather take it the other way? And we'll throw it out this way, that, if you woke up in the morning and you didn't have access to your cell phone anymore, they didn't exist. Would you be okay with that and go back to payphones and pagers?
Hell yeah, man. Payphones, pagers. I had Freedom Page, dude. Freedom Page cost you money whenever you texted me. It was brilliant. And again, back to technology, like we have to, I don't use the AI is great for the artwork to do real quick deals and whatnot, but people are being, a little bit too dependent on it. Like, it's always hilarious when they ask Grok for like the answer. And like you said, 9 times out of 10, almost half, I mean, they don't give you a good answer. They just can't come up with that, normal street logic sense. It's all book smarts and they can't produce. And a lot of this information, at least Grok, it comes from Reddit, it comes from Wikipedia. So again, like, we're getting that technology that's been passed through a couple times. And give us the good stuff. Like, we're not impressed, like email back in the day, the internet, that was fascinating. But right now we're getting 5-10 second videos of JD Vance's ass like the moon. I mean, this is killing us. So we deserve better.
All that good money from OpenAI. And the other thing came out today, New York Post was reporting on it, that they were talking about how Google search terms really revealed that they give a bunch of bullshit answers and never come with the truth itself. So that's New York Post coming out with that. So I thought that was interesting to throw on top of Google. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting here. Space Shot, one more. Come on, baby.
Alrighty then, Mr. Cell Phone Guy. While you were focused on Iran, other things were happening. Anthropic has begun a tightly controlled release of Mythos. And all these stupid names I gotta learn too now. The first AI model that officials believe is capable of bringing down any Fortune 100 company, crippling swaths of the internet, and even penetrating vital national defense systems, all at the push of a button. The uncomfortable truth about AI. There are two competing realities here. Reality A, what they say publicly. Quote, we're cautiously managing powerful tools. Reality B, what the data shows. They are racing forward while containment is shaky, understanding is incomplete, incentives push acceleration. This is not hypothetical anymore. This is an emerging operational reality. Autonomous AI agents as attackers. Advanced models like Anthropic's Mythos can independently scan, identify, and exploit vulnerabilities without human step-by-step control. Scale beyond human limits. A single AI system can execute thousands of simultaneous attack paths, something that previously required entire teams of elite hackers. Zero-day discovery at machine speed. These models have already uncovered thousands of unknown vulnerabilities, including decades-old flaws missed by experts. Infrastructure level risk. Targets
You can
are
stop
not
right there. That's good.
just websites.
That's good. So the biggest thing that happened with this particular Mythos that had come out, it's their pen test. So they use it for testing security systems for big giant internet companies itself. So what they designed this through is they threw this thing in its own little container. They're going to test it, right? They're like, hey, we came out with this new model. We're going to throw it its own little contained bots here, this little box here at our home little server, and then we're going to test it and see if it could freaking do the little mission to figure out the security vulnerabilities and this and that. Well, the thing was so effing smart that it got out of the freaking box and posted on the internet trolling that it got out. So there's only 3 people are using Anthropic, the DOD, and somebody else. I can't remember. And it's not coming out for public use. So when they were talking about containment is shaky, it got out of the box during their test run. So they're like, yeah, we're not going to release it to the general public. But it posted online and trolled their owners that, yeah, look, I got out. What do you think? Isn't that crazy?
Well, dude, and the other things that we've covered over the last few years about how it will pay somebody to do a CAPTCHA for it. It will, what will it, blackmail people, right? It will do all sorts of nasty stuff.
Sleeping with the secretary because they caught him in the emails. Yeah, does all sorts of shit like that. Oh, it's going to be just so great.
Sounds safe.
Here's another one right here. Coming from Mike Lee. Would you like to read this for everybody? Because this is important. Because remember everybody who got arrested in that gambling operation out there with football?
Oh, yeah. In 1961, Congress enacted the Sports Broadcasting Act, granting limited antitrust immunity to allow professional football teams to collectively license the, quote, sponsored telecasts of their games to national broadcast networks. Courts have recognized that, quote, sponsored telecasting refers to broadcast finance through advertising and made available free to the public. And they cite a lawsuit here. The modern distribution environment differs substantially from the conditions that precipitated this exemption. Instead of a small number of free broadcast networks, the NFL now licenses games simultaneously to subscription streaming platforms, premium cable networks, and technology companies operating under different business models. To the extent collectively licensed game packages are placed behind subscription paywalls, these arrangements may no longer align with the statutory concept of sponsored telecasting or the consumer access rationale underlying the antitrust exemption. That's why, as chair of the subcommittee on antitrust, competition policy, and consumer rights, I urge the DOJ to examine the Sports Broadcasting Act and its applicability to current media landscape. I'm glad they're tackling this. It says Wall Street Journal exclusive, NFL is under investigation by the Justice Department over its broadcasting deals. Yeah, dude, I think they're spreading it around a little too much myself as well, because when I was trying to, put a few sports picks, DraftKings Pick 6 or whatever, you have to go on Prime for some, you got to go on Fox for others, you got to go on CBS for, like, they're broadcasting and having these people pay them crazy amounts of money all over the place.
Yeah, so why are they getting the special cut and an immunity for doing these sort of things? Because they're on one of the 7 major networks normally, but that's starting to fall apart because they're not major networks anymore, and everybody's going to streaming. So this is getting interesting. Maybe football will be back to free again, and we don't have to go to Amazon and pay $20 to go watch this damn football game. I don't watch much football anyways, but yeah, there it is. I wonder how that's going to do with the pay-per-view for NFL, the season passes and shit.
Yeah, I mean, and it's almost like Paramount, almost owns everything now. So they're getting to be quite monopolistic on a bunch of different areas.
Oh, yeah. We will get to that particular point. Here's another one here. Federal court clears path to DOJ to seize state voter rolls. The battle for the election transparency just hit a fever pitch. Federal judge handed the Department of Justice a massive procedural victory in the United States versus Hobbs. Despite Washington State, Hobbs is Arizona, guys. Despite Washington State's desperate to attempt to dismiss the case on technicalities, the court ruled the DOJ lawsuit to force the surrender of full unredacted votes registration rolls to move forward.
Huge.
Show us your shit.
Dude, huge. And if you don't have an accompanying tweet with a subpoena and a lawsuit and a grand jury, click on what I sent you at the very bottom of our DM, because it's right in line with this.
It didn't have it in the next one, but your Secretary of State and then somebody else of Arizona, not Katie Hobbs, but the person who was the Secretary of State at the time, are both under investigation.
It's huge. I'm just going to read the underlined parts. Basically says, Senate produced in response to a federal grand jury subpoena. As you know, in early March, the Federal Bureau of Investigation served me in my capacity as Senate President with a federal grand jury subpoena for records related to the 2020 election. Then it goes on to say what you were just mentioning. The threats of the Attorney General and the Secretary of State are incompatible with the United States Constitution. So they're trying to block it all, and they're saying, well, are they going to have voters' data? Are they going to get that? That's, they're making their complaints, and so obviously they don't want the information given forward, because we know exactly what happened, and they're saying the exact opposite. Oh, Donald Trump just can't come to grips with the fact that he lost the election. Blah blah blah. Like, nah, not even close.
Okay, and again, there's two bills going through Congress because nobody wants to touch the SAVE Act. So now they're trying to go over and do these amnesty bills is what they're getting into. So things that I point out here that I thought was interesting: pay for no fewer than 3 humanitarian campsites within the U.S., pay the lawyers who work for these campuses to help the illegals become residents. And since the lawyers working for them, pay off the student loans for the lawyers who work for these campuses. Just like how the doctors do it, they work for a nonprofit for 10 years and they could write off their entire educational deal and they don't have to pay it back as long as they finish the 10 years there. Same basic idea is what they're trying to pull over here. So that's the Dignity Act for the mass amnesty is what they're getting to. What else did we have in here I wanted to throw out there? It would allow legal aliens deported by Trump since January 2017 to return to the U.S. They could apply for their new dignity status from their home country and then return to the U.S. Holy crap, folks. Can you believe they're actually going there?
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's just disgusting. Nope. Are you going to prove you've been here? Yeah, whatever.
So that's coming. What else do we got over here? Oh, yeah. The whole illegal immigrants, the scandal that came out, they crunched the numbers in the calendar years from 2020 to 2023. Department of State granted non-immigration visas to approximately 8 million foreigners without conducting in-person interviews. and they never went back, never gave him a court date, none of that stuff. That's 8 million that they recorded, guys, that came through the border, that did the stupid app or showed up and signed some paperwork and then disappeared. They have 8 million of those guys, not the getaways, the other 15 million that are probably hiding in the country, just walked across the border. So those numbers are coming out. So we'll see if somebody gets around to prosecuting or doing any of these things. So wanted to throw that out there. I would also like to point out that Rudy Giuliani and Jeff Clark are both coming out today saying my home was raided in June 2020, and I still have never seen the affidavit to support my search warrant. Operation Arctic Fox was a complete crock. So that's back then, and nobody's came over there. Nobody's given their lawyers any other thing why they were going to show up and raid their house. So yeah, it's interesting because that was coming out from him, and then also Jeff Clark. So yeah,
that's huge. And yeah, I mean the fact that they went after Clark and then Rudy, which we know what he was doing, right, with all of the Ukraine stuff. I mean, they need to absolutely get their comeuppance. And Hulk, just give me a minute or two. I gotta hit the little men's.
Yeah, not a problem. I would also like to point out why they were raiding his home at the time. He had pointed out that Rudy Giuliani had pointed out that, hey, grab that hard drive right there that has the Hunter Biden corruption stuff on there. Go ahead and take. Oh, sorry, sir, we're not here for that. But it's got corruption, and the president's no, we're not here for that. As the FBI. They took everything else, but they didn't want to take that one digital device, but they took the phones, the computers, the laptop, but not the Hunter Biden hard drive. Just saying. In case anybody was paying attention to the Wisconsin judge who basically scapegoated the illegal immigrant out the back door to bypass the ICE out there, who got charged with felonies and then tried to do an appeal, got denied. So she's going to get disbarred and probably spend some time in jail. They haven't done her sentencing yet, but she was found guilty, and let's see what that turns out to be. So justice is served. Also, since Trump has signed out, because I was waiting for this, Trump has signed that executive order talking about mail-in ballots, and they have to be stamped by the mail office, so it has to go through the machine, so it puts the stupid barcode, the date and the time. If you don't have any of that stuff on there before the election ends on whatever time that they're going to end it on, 8 or 9 o'clock at night, then after that, we're not going to take any more ballots over here. Well, we've got a whole coalition of blue states that are trying to basically challenge this thing with the Postal Service itself, which means it's going to the Supreme Court. Exactly what I was thinking going to happen is they're going to challenge it. Oh, you're going to challenge it? We'll go up to the appellate courts and all the way up the court system to the Supreme Court, and they're going to find out who actually has control over the elections. Is it the president and the executive or each individual state? I'm pretty sure they're going to side with the president. But even though the whole alien citizenship that they spoke about recently in the Supreme Court, I don't think that's going to be able to hold teeth the way that Trump wants it to. His lawyers are saying it doesn't look good. That's when he lashed out at the Supreme Court and started yelling at those guys. So that's interesting things, just to put it all in one big giant pot, and you could stir it any way you want to. Comments, thoughts?
No, I'm down. We got to clean up our voting. And again, the post office, remember the mail-in ballots. This was one of many ways they were rigged and stolen. And again, go back to paper ballots. The machines cannot be trusted. So this midterms is going to be interesting to see, what happens. Are we going to catch some certain states? I know Arizona, Georgia, and a few others were in the crosshairs. But again, we can't let 2020 just, we didn't have not another 4-year election for nothing. So again, we have to hold these people accountable and change the way that we vote. I mean, third world countries do it better than we do. And once we get that real rich vote come in, that, legit vote, then it's going to show us where our country's really at. I mean, this isn't, split 50-50. There isn't, necessarily blue states. They're all purple, and time will tell, but clean it up, man. That's for sure.
Yep. In case anybody also paying attention, California Supreme Court has ordered Riverside County Sheriff Jared Bianco to pause his probe into election allegations and preserve more than 500,000 2025 election ballots that he seized. You got to remember, it's like just shy of 400,000. They overcounted in one particular district of 25,000. So he took them all, and he wants to look at the extra 25,000. He said right off the bat, this thing I'm looking at is not going to overturn any elections or any things that we've done. but there's some the issues with some of these counts and some double ballots. So we've gone ahead and had a grand jury and everybody seated, and they said, sure, go for it. But California Supreme Court, challenged by Rob Bonto over there, the Attorney General of the California over here, he's getting a little scared. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. So he got them to pause it here at this point until they can figure out what they're going to do. So yay.
Supreme Court's backing him, huh? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Warren Peterson, this is the one that got out of order, referred Chris Mayers and Adrian Fontes to the Department of Justice for their obstruction of justice and tampering with witnesses. Yeah. So that's the Secretary of State and the Attorney General both referred to the DOJ for obstructing justice in Arizona.
Obstructing a federal grand jury subpoena, nonetheless.
Yeah. So he is probably one of our senators over there, AZ Senate president. So, yeah, Arizona's getting down on there. Let's see if they can hold that thing together. Katie Hobbs might be sweating down there now. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah. Put this into perspective. Remember, the Senate blocks Trump's attorney general pick, so he can only has acting AGs, which means we're going to have a rotating 210 days of AGs until the Congress can figure out and affirm whatever pick he wants to do. So, yeah, we're doing a whole bunch of the scary Moochie model here until they pick an actual person itself. I hadn't thought about that 210 days cycle that we're going to be dealing with. So it's coming. Circus is coming. Yeah, exactly. For those things here. You can read this for everybody if you want to, or Tron or Space Shot, either one of you two.
All right. Democrats are in full panic mode as the changes at CBS News and 60 Minutes have become apparent. Under the new ownership of Paramount and Larry Ellison with his dorky son David, CBS News is now doing real reporting exposing government fraud in California. No crap. Now Ellison is also buying CNN along with all of the assets at Warner Brothers Discovery. The far left-wing, quote, reporters are CNN in a full-blown, I'm reading it as it is, a full-blown panic that they will no longer be able to promote their radical left agenda. The far left was counting on their Obama allies at Netflix to purchase Warner Brothers and CNN. However, the Ellison family outbid Netflix with $110 billion. The radical left-wing senators like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are trying to claim, quote, national security concerns to block the merger. In reality, they are terrified at the thought of the left losing their control on the media narrative. Yep, that's what they've had for a very long time.
Yeah, and remember, Trump just got the 100% support for the MAGA group reported by CNN themselves. So that was like 3 weeks ago they came out with that. So thought that was interesting out there. Oh, there's some interesting things going down with the bomber for January 6th, because if anybody remembers, the lady lied who said that, did you plant the bomb? And she failed the polygraph test twice. Remember that story that came out? So this is Steve Baker that spent a bunch of time over there in the Capitol building going through the archive looking for the bomber stuff that we all talked about, and was on Blaze Media, a whole bunch of this. Take a crack at this, Mr. Space Shot, would you?
Oh, yeah, I remember watching, and he was with them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Start at the top.
Steve Baker says, I wasn't fired for that reason. That is a lie put out by the Blaze CEO in an effort to cover their ass. I never refused to submit my work to editorial or legal review. Never, not once. In fact, the November 8th story that started it all went through 4 to 5 layers of editorial review, legal clearance, and executive suite approval. Even the official, quote, retraction, written by attorneys, states, quote, at all times, the reporting adhered to professional journalistic standards and was published with a good faith belief in its truth. I was only terminated after my refusal to continue abiding by the, quote, gag order the company had me under for 5 months. In fact, on the eve of my termination, a Blaze executive phoned to try to talk me out of continuing with my plans to begin telling the whole truth about this story, hoping that I would stay with the Blaze. The gag order was my line in the sand, not the false representation from CEO Tyler Cardin put out both publicly via internal memo at the Blaze. Quote, Steve's recent refusal to submit his journalistic work product for editorial and pre-publication legal review made his continued employment at Blaze News impossible. To be absolutely clear, I differed from the Blaze by about 180 degrees on how to handle the threat of a defamation lawsuit from Ms. Kirchhoff. The Blaze had even made pre-lawsuit settlement offer, which I would not have accepted. While Blaze executives and attorneys wanted to remain silent, hoping the threat would just go away or settle preemptively, Haney Reports and I wanted to mount a counteroffensive and fight with the evidence we were not allowed to present publicly because of their gag order. Any other characterization of my dismissal from the Blaze, as described above, is false. P.S. Glenn Beck had nothing to do with either my hiring or firing at the Blaze.
Other part of this story is I'm hearing FBI Kash Patel was putting pressure onto the Blaze to not talk about this particular pipe bomb story. Whether it was ongoing investigation, they didn't want the stuff to come out. There was a big pressure from the FBI to shut the story down and then turn it off. Also, it comes out inside the story here that a career federal agent who was assisting the Blaze with its pipe bomb investigation died suddenly under suspicious circumstances just before Thanksgiving. His death will be part of the team's ongoing investigation and subject to future stories. So that's coming out with this whole January 6th pipe bomber, because one girl that they said that wasn't her, it was the black guy, because it was him that did it, remember? It ended up being the lady from the Capitol Police group. And she said, no, it wasn't me, but they did the whole polygraph. She failed it twice. Interesting things. Not sure where to put it, guys.
Third time's the charm? Take that polygraph one more time. Maybe she'll pass it. Gonna put a rock in my shoe.
Here's another story for you. Take that crack at the headline.
DOJ opens criminal investigation into J6 committee star witness Cassidy. Donald Trump grabbed the steering wheel, punched the Secret Service agent in the face, Hutchinson.
Yeah, so just as a reminder there, the Beast does not have access between the main cabin and the actual front of where the Secret Service sits. There's a partition. You're not going through that. The window doesn't go up and down. So yeah, they left that part out. So yeah, yay. What else do we got?
Commercial.
Oh, we should do commercial?
Commercial.
We're going to do commercial? You ready, Mr. Space Shot?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I got to jiggle the handle. Rumble Wallet again. We are rolling with that. We are currently 1 hour, 26 minutes. I thank you, everybody, for coming by. Make sure you smash the thumbs up. Leave a comment in the bottom of the video. Hopefully you're enjoying your afternoon here. And let me know when you're ready, Mr. Space Shot.
Yeah, I'm looking. All right, and I found her.
I'm clicking
Clickety,
Rumble
clickety.
Wallet.
Boom.
Break for 30 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is a little inside scoop that many creators are talking about behind the scenes. It's actually one of the reasons I'm using Rumble. They made a way to super chat creators so we get paid immediately and without any fees. YouTube and Twitch take up to 50% of fees when you tip creators, and this method takes none. That's right, the platform takes 0 fees. I keep 100% of what you send me. You can super chat with Bitcoin, Tether USD, or even Tether Gold stablecoins. The tip will show up directly in the Rumble chat, which I will absolutely do my best to read. All you need to do is download the Rumble wallet on the App Store and send the tips to your favorite creators. You can also head over to wallet.rumble.com, or you can download the app directly from the app stores. Seriously, what an amazing way to help get rid of the middleman and help the creator economy. And shout out to Rumble for making this disruptive technology available.
Break for 30 seconds.
Yay! Thank you, everybody, for hanging out just for that little bit for the commercial change out there. And we'll get back into stories here. Where do we leave off? Bianco.
And Hulk, just have Tron read the next one just because my son needs help with something for a minute.
That's no problem. So coming out from Todd Blanche, the Department of Justice is holding criminals accountable for stealing over $500 million in taxpayer across the country, offices all over the country. We currently have over 8,000 fraud matters underway, is what he is saying. So this goes on with Nick. Is it Nick Sorter? Is his name, Tron? Shirley. Nick Shirley doing out there and doing all the things that our Justice Department should have been at. But it was so bad that even CBS had to talk about it.
Todd Blanche announced today a widening federal crackdown on fraud covering multiple areas, including healthcare, tax, and corporate fraud, and amid an ongoing CBS News investigation into hospice fraud.
Their ongoing investigation they already had. Remember that. They already had one going.
Fraud. Blanche called the problem the purest form of stealing from the American people's pockets. Here's what happened when CBS News correspondent Adam Yamaguchi tracked down a doctor whose practice raised multiple red flags.
The state of California says that if a doctor is involved with any more than even just a few hospices, it is a sign of potential fraud. At the heart of the industry are doctors trusted to approve care, but one stands out. His name appeared on claims from 126 hospices, and he had 60% more in Medicare reimbursements than the next closest doctor in 2024, the last full year of available data. Dr. Rajiv Buva. We wanted to ask Dr. Buva how he managed to work for so many different providers. So we followed a trail of hospice offices across the LA basin linked to his name. $71 million in Medicare claims in 2024. We understand that Dr. Rajiv Buva is the medical director.
That's 1 year, guys. Think about that. One guy, $71 million.
Director here, we're just trying to get some information about him. He's not? No. Was he at some point? Yes, he was. But you're telling me he no longer is associated with you guys? No. Was he at some point? Thank you. In California, a hospice doctor cares for an average of 140 patients in a year. In 2024, claims with Buva's name were submitted for nearly 2,800 terminally ill patients.
There's no reason to think that that's legitimate.
Dr. Christina Newport, a hospice physician of 18 years, says there are several reasons why one doctor could be linked to so many patients. One of those reasons, identity theft.
They, would have a superhuman schedule to do that in a meaningful way.
We reached out a number of times to Dr. Buva, but couldn't connect.
Yeah, it's one of many, and some of the weird info they're getting out of here. Like this one I ran by, another one of these, OC fraudster admits to submitting $270 million in bogus claims to Medicare. He did this in 2024 in 11 months. Billed $270 million. It's crazy, dude, that you can get that thing done. And over 11-month span, his pricey prescription drugs contain generic ingredients that patients neither did need or never received. In 11 months, dude.
That's crazy.
What are we doing here, guys?
How much more money can they steal? Just having a little bit of a win, taking some of it back. And this is, what we talked about earlier this afternoon with, quote unquote, Nassar and Jassar. Once all the money that was stolen actually comes back, I mean, imagine what our country, what our states can actually accomplish when there's no one stealing. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. So, I mean, transparency brings accountability, whether it's Minnesota or any other state. Something has to give. Something has to set that precedent. And let's get the mass arrest going. I mean, this is unreal.
Yeah, he's saying here, repeat fraudster who caused Medicare program designed to help those in need to be nearly billed $270 million for expenses and Medicare unnecessary medication. He and his co-conspirators stole $178 million through false and fraudulent medications, lying their own project in 11 months, dude. Holy crap! How could this happen in California that quick, dude? Where'd the money go? Dude, that's the big thing out there. Absolutely there. Look. There's even brick suits out there. Look at all the hospice centers there. And then he points out that one little dot could have more than one location in there. Oh, and this one little spot's got 90 hospices. So yeah, when we're talking about how Van Nuys, California has 16% of the total Medicaid budget going to one city in California is pretty damn crazy. Now you understand how some buildings have 90 hospices. Isn't that crazy, folks? You're wondering where your tax money goes? right out
They
the
need
door
more
here.
visiting angels and less hospices. I mean, if it's not Leering Center, autism centers, hospice centers, and the way they treated our elderly in these homes during pandemic, I mean, the fleecing just keeps on going. Wait till they get to the PPP loans. I mean, that's going to be another whole thing.
They're still going after those guys now. They started that like 3 years ago. So over here, Rob Bonta is the AG of California. California's failure to fight fraud is an interesting way to say that my office literally investigated the case in partner with the DOJ. While the Trump administration continues to try to politicize this work, here's the truth. In California, we've been investigating, prosecuting fraud against government programs for decades and will continue to do so. I said prevent. Having my office prosecute fraudsters to whom California blindly handed out millions does not count as fighting fraud. In the federal government cleaning up after you and the governor's incompetence, maybe you should spend more time prosecuting your own fraudsters and filling up your prisons and less time cooking up political lawsuits against the Trump administration. And remember, this guy here is also under investigation, kind of hiding it at the same time with Gavin Newsom's assistant at the time, who was this guy's assistant, who got busted for taking millions of dollars and a whole bunch of other stuff all at the same time. And she was assistant to Rob Bonta and Gavin Newsom all at the same time, but they just floated around the office. And then the DOJ came out and said, yeah, we charged her and arrested her like a year ago. And then they're like, oh yeah, when she's been off work for that long. Sorry, we forgot to tell everybody. That was their way of explaining it in California. So yeah, here's Rob Bonta saying, yeah, he's late for the party. He's been doing this forever. He's an illegal immigrant too. So yeah, I'm not going to play his clip so he can go. Nick Shirley exposes Gavin Newsom's is paying for bots. Gavin Newsom is paying for bot farms, creating massive engagement and supports all that's fake. So if you go look at better life for the people. They go through here and they realize a lot of these comments in there are repeating themselves, or they have weird followers and stuff. So no followers whatsoever, but they're definitely commenting all in the right spot. So yeah, are they paying for bots? Maybe. Yeah, never made a comment, but you're going to make a comment over on an Instagram post talking bad on Trump.
Well, dude, look at that one. Gavin Newsom is the strongest, in all caps, strongest governor in America. Okay.
It also had come out, you might have lost some followers here in the last couple of hours, that the integrity guy that does on the X side, I forgot his name, but they started kicking out bots at 280 a second. So some people have lost already 10,000 followers already if you had a bunch of bots following you, as they continue to crack down on the AI slop and the bot integration on Twitter today. So I find this interesting. They did a big giant crackdown. Yay.
I think I lost like maybe 100 on that one. And dude, good news. Oh, and while I got the microphone, thank you very much there, Mr. Swick. We did it finally. I hit the 40K mark on Rumble.
40K,
finally.
Congratulations.
40K for the third time.
Rumble. On where?
On Rumble. Yeah, I already did it on YouTube.
You'll get up tomorrow. It'll be 39,950.
No,
everyone
Rumble doesn't do that though. Yeah, no, Rumble doesn't do that. I've never seen it go down or mess with it all. But YouTube hit that one, 150K. Hit the backup channel for 40. Finally got this one for 40. So boom.
So everybody set their alarm for 1 a.m. and then get up, grab your phone, and unsubscribe to Space Shot for a little bit. And then you wait, and then he'll go, "Oh my God, look, I lost all my followers," and then you give them all back in a day,
Sure
and he'll be fine. He'll be okay.
And thank you, Mr. Swick, for that gifted subscription to the channel, brother. I do appreciate you.
Yeah, exactly. Also coming out of Minnesota, six Somali family members are just pleaded guilty to Minnesota's $14 million Feeding the Future fraud scandal as part of the massive $250 million taxpayer ripoff. Remember, they were saying it was like $6 billion that they're cruising around out there. So this is that one that Ilhan Omar was hanging out at that restaurant. They said they were feeding starving kids and there's no kids there whatsoever. So more of these people are getting busted. I don't think they're going to get to Ilhan Omar. Maybe. I mean, Trump had talked about it, but I don't know exactly where to put it. And let's just check in with Minnesota really quick on the Learning Center. It is currently on fire because a food truck crashed into it. Yes, that famous Learning Center that we all saw it on the video here is currently on fire because there is a food truck on fire that crashed into the building right there. Yes, that is your Learning Center right there. So yeah, it's currently on fire.
If it's not toilet paper factories, it's going to be Learning Centers. Sounds like a Greek job, one of those Greek diner jobs.
They were already broken into, Remember they went there just to steal their roster of who was going there, and they broke this hole in the wall. Was that the same place, right? Or was that a medical place? Pretty sure it was.
Oh no, our bananas and rice. Who stole it?
Exactly. We can't give evidence because they came in there and they broke into the spot where we got all the files that you were requesting also.
Yeah, and then he's like, and they took some checks too. Yeah, that's it.
It's the building 7 of Learning Centers, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not going to have any problem out there. Here's another story. Tron, you want to read that for everybody?
Guys, check it. Just in, a U.S. Army Special Operations Command veteran, Courtney Williams, has been arrested and federally charged with leaking classified national defense information. She allegedly provided sensitive details, including classified Delta Force tactics and procedures, to a journalist for a 2025 book on Fort Bragg. Interesting, Fort Bragg. Always goes back to books. And what did Dan Scavino say? Oh, people selling out, people, unloyal just to make a quick buck.
Yeah, and I'd also like to point out the amount of deaths coming out of Fort Bragg over the last 4 or 5 years. I don't know if it's trafficking. I don't know if it's smuggling of drugs, but there's something weird going on there. It could be military weapons. But a lot of people have died down there at Fort Bragg when there's supposed to be an investigation ongoing. And then she's tied into this. And I was like, oh, that makes all sense now.
I know 2 of them were, they said was related to drug trafficking. There was 2 murders. One was a quartermaster. I forget who the other guy was, but those 2 they said were related to drug smuggling. But you're right, a lot of questionable stuff going on down there.
And isn't there or disinformation something or other down there at Fort Bragg? I forgot what the name of the little detachment that they have down there. Because I think the blonde chick that showed up at January 6th that brought the people from Fort Bragg, and she ended up being an officer of that particular group. I can't remember what the hell it was, but just throwing that out there is the rest of the crap that I remember. Yeah, so that's, you can't, you accept classified briefings and you can't leak your information. That's the DOJ coming in there. And then, of course, Trump had to break into this and talk a little bit about it. Might as well throw him in there because this is all over leaking the information about the F-15, 2 pilots, the pilot and the dude in the back where the navigator were missing.
As you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who we're talking about. There's some things you can't do because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award.
Yeah, I don't know if it was millions. It seemed like some of them were even protecting the pilot. Some of the stories coming out, it could be all hearsay. Did Trump and the team go in there, take the uranium, try to get the uranium? Were they just there for the pilot itself? Who knows? There's so much disinformation here at this point. You know, you don't know what to believe itself. But Israel and Iran still want to fight each other, even though we had a drawdown. So that didn't last too long. Israel got it for us. It's never going to be enough. Exactly. We got exits also. There are even more relatives of the Islamic regime hiding inside luxury areas inside the United States. Marco Rubio is looking to revoke visas to 3,000 to 4,000 Iranian elites that are in the country right now. Several of them are teachers and professors. So that's interesting things that it's going that way, that they're thinking about that. And that goes on top of the story over here. Remember the niece of the slain Iranian terror boss, I can't even say that guy, Soleimani? So she was arrested by ICE and put in a container, and she decided to call her boyfriend.
Reportedly called her former boyfriend for help to escape the facility. But according to the New York Post, he declined the call, saying this, quote, "I don't want anything to do with her. She scares me. I was so afraid of her. She knows how to make herself seem like an angel, and you feel like the devil. She takes advantage of every man she knows." Now, another man, a Los Angeles hairdresser, said this about the situation. Thank God after hearing of her arrest by ICE. He said, "That's good. She's a stalker." In court filings, he said the woman subjected him to emotional abuse, harassment, and that she threatened to hurt herself. All of this highlighting a tale of two Irans. Ordinary Iranians facing crackdowns and execution.
Yeah, so that's a kind of a crazy story to throw on top of the daughter that's living here. Oh, God. Seems like a nice woman, right?
Death to America.
Yeah.
Exactly. Last couple of stories. What else do I got for you? Oh, I want to throw this guy out. This gentleman, Scott Wiener, who is standing right here. This guy. Do you know this guy is probably going to win against Nancy Pelosi? This will be the replacement for Nancy Pelosi right here for California. He's gay too.
What? Oh, God.
Yeah, he's gay. Yeah, there's a picture of him in full leather with like the Village People type of thing. Yeah. Yeah, really disgusting. So yeah, it should be absolutely great. He's also voting on transgender this and don't tell the parents that we're going to cut these parts off. Those whole sort of things. That's who this guy is.
Her
So it should be
homeschooling is popular again. Yeah. I mean, after that, holy cow.
exactly. What else do we got? Oh yeah, as you were talking about earlier, we saw Melania come up and give some information about Epstein or whatnot, which we'll get to in a minute. Important story. This is the first kind of conviction of an individual under the 2025 Take It Down Act that was pushed by Melania and the administration, protecting victims of non-consensual intimate images and AI-generated forgeries. So I didn't get a chance to go pull the story up or look into it, but I didn't want to dig into it too much right before the show itself. So yeah, first one to be convicted on there. And then we had her say this stuff, which I find quite interesting. The boss himself was asked, hey, she just gave I didn't know anything about it.
Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
So, Tron, you want to expand upon some of the other things she said?
Yeah, this is excellent. And again, this kind of came this came out of left field. No one was expecting this. And you have to remember, this is after Boss calls her out during the Easter egg celebrations a few days ago as, her movie star. And Boss is out there, this Epstein hoax, he's been dead. There's nothing to see
Quick 30
there.
seconds.
And then all of a sudden it goes from that to, Donald Trump's in the files. We have to get into the files. And then Massey, MTG, and crew start peddling out these victims. And some of the victims, again, not to demoralize the situation, but some of the victims are questionable. And now Melania's like, okay, let's bring out the victims, let's put it in a court of law. But again, we want to know who Epstein facilitated the criminal empire to. Like, there's definitely people there. You don't get, Ghislaine Maxwell doesn't get impounded for nothing. So this is important. And if you think about it, it kind of goes against everything that Kash Patel has been saying. Oh no, he downloaded CP and that's why he got it. Like, it's almost like too crazy to believe. So again, this story will never die. Much like Epstein, we don't believe he killed himself. And then there might even be that little aspect, that little 99% to 1 home run, where maybe he was protected because he has all this information. They had to fake his death. Then you can take that situation and apply it to JFK Jr. or Seth Rich. Start going down the line. Start going right down the line. This is fantastic. And if anything, this gives us a little hint that Elvis too. I mean, Boss brought that up. And let's go to Michael Jackson. I mean, shoot. Everything's happening at once, man. And if we're going to get to the truth, we're going to have to figure this out first before if the earth is round, flat, gravity's real, magicians, David Copperfield, all that fun stuff. But again, Melania, the children, she's a mother. And most importantly, she has that Fostering the Children Foundation. So this is perfect. Let's do it. It's great.
The real question is, are we going to get all that or GTA 6 first? I'm not sure. Let's get back into some more of these stories about Epstein. Ran by this story over here. Here's this one for you.
Bill Gates loves women. Bill Gates, you ready for this? When Bill Gates married Melinda Gates in his prenup, we'll go back to the beginning, then he could go off for 1 week a year with his old girlfriend.
Stop.
Yes, Google that. I can go off 1 week a year in perpetuity with my old girlfriend.
Why would she agree to that?
Money. Melinda Gates, when you read her story, she was acting like she met him in the parking lot and didn't know who he was. And she worked at Microsoft. I mean, no, I don't believe you, Melinda. I believe that you parked next to him on purpose. And she dated Bo Wrigley at Duke. I mean, there's people that are looking for money.
So you think she was a gold digger?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, that's coming from his testimony. I just thought that was interesting. You put one of those things in a prenup that was out there. I don't know where to put it. And that's it. That's all the stories I got, guys. So unless you got something else you want to talk about, throw out, cover, anything else?
Bill Gates was a
No,
baller like that?
That actually surprises me, but not really. But again, all these, I mean, we talk about all the time, the relationships in Hollywood, in corporate America, and even in politics. It's all fake. The marriages, the relationships, and yeah, prenups for the win. But that sounds like an Italian thing. You're allowed to get a gumad after 5 years. You're allowed to have a girlfriend after being married. Of course, that's only for the Sopranos and The Godfather. We don't abide by that. But I mean, again, how sick are these people? They have all the money in the world, yet they still, do the devilish schemes. They continue to not be good people. But exposing them is what we do in 2026.
Just to put it in perspective, they banned Kanye West from performing in this upcoming Pepsi, whatever it was, festival they've been doing for the last 15 years or whatever. So Kirsten Armour says he banned Kanye West, but remember that they brought the dude from Afghanistan that has the picture of him holding two severed heads, who's the president or whatever, the leader of Afghanistan, and then brought him over to go meet Kirsten Armour. So he's okay to meet with the terrorists that cut people's heads off, but can't have Kanye West do a music in the country. I just thought that was ironic.
Priorities. And dude, while I got the microphone, let me just thank really quickly Didn't even see this one, but Dragonfly62, thank you for the 5 subscriptions to the channel. And then Golden Rule with a $5 Rumble Rant says, you're now 40,000 and rising. Thank you to all the great content, for all the great content. So thank you for that. And then Warrior Mima with a $5 Rumble Rant says, 40K, congratulations, Space Shot. You deserve 100K. Appreciate you
Yay.
guys.
Do I have anything else in here? That's pretty much it. The only thing else I'm going to throw out here that I have something to show you is we could check in with Canada.
Genocide of MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
Is that the Contra code to get the free lives? I mean, what
You saw that lady, right? Yeah.
Will not let fear win.
Yeah, Canada.
A world without trans people has never existed. A world without drag has never existed, and it never will. Queer people.
So I have no idea what 2SLGBTQQI+.
That's Edward Scissorhands having sex with Beetlejuice. That's what that is. It's a madness. TDS off the chart.
So I just had to throw that stuff out there. And that's, I think, all I got, guys. Is there anything else you want to throw out on the show? We have lacking Rdoc, so we're missing content there. But if there's anything else you want to cover, I'd be more than happy to.
Keep that up there. 2SLGBTQI is an acronym used in Canada to represent two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and additional sexual and gender diverse people. The 2S is placed first to recognize two-spirit people as the first 2SLGBTQ communities. Oh my God, these people are just... Look at the one on the far left. Look at that face. You're not fooling anybody. Actually, all of them. But the one on the back left is the worst.
Exactly. So that's about all I got, guys. So unless you want something else to throw out, we could do sign-offs and all that. Get the hell out of here if you're good.
Well, the last one I thought was funny, that the call sign of the missing pilot for the F-15E was Dude 44. Tell me that's not like a comm dude. Like, there's no way. Rooster.
It's like
Maverick.
Keanu Reeves in that movie with Bill and Ted. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
That's why I like the Lego starting in the beginning. I thought that was pretty entertaining for all you guys that are out there. So we appreciate you guys all stopping by. Make sure you smash the thumbs up. Leave comments on the bottom of the video out there. And leave comments in case there's anything that we missed. And the show did go live. Yay. So Twitch is, or I should say X is working out there. So yeah, save up toilet paper. War's still coming. People from the moon are coming back tomorrow. We're going to watch that splashdown. That should be interesting to watch that thing. It's going to be coming at me, it's going to be interesting to watch that come in there into Southern California. So that's basically all I got. Anything else you guys want to throw out, talk about, cover?
I can't wait to see the splashdown tomorrow as well. Tron?
Yeah, it's all gas, no pedals between now and midterms. And then we have that final stretch for 2028, and maybe magically the diamonds will be returned. Alex Jones and the whole Influencer Inc. are in the crosshairs, and a few might be demonetized across X and whatnot as they're getting called out for fake news, AI stuff, and plagiarism. So shine the light, and it's not the first time, guys. We were warned long ago of Jack Prosobic, of Microchip, Alex Jones, and once you start from there, just start spider webbing off of the whole network. You know, who are their friends? Who do they interact with online? What shows do they go on? And at some point, some of your heroes from the past might not be good. But in the end, we have to cheer on our boss. We have to cheer on our president, and anything, you know, all these little micro excursions, all these non-details won't matter at the end. Light at the end of the tunnel, and winning is what we do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Anything from you, Mr. Space Shot? Anything you want to throw out? We'll do goodbyes.
No, I think we're good. I think we're good for goodbyes. You got the little grand jury thing there, and great show though. Nice, quick, fast one, and get to bed. I don't have to listen to X, you know what, nag about the time anymore.
Yay! So, Tron, what you got going on for tomorrow night?
Yeah, guys, thanks again for an awesome show. Thank you for joining me, Space Shot, and the rest of the panel on Rambo and Friends this afternoon at 2 p.m. Go check out that replay. Tomorrow night, Guys, bring the funnies. We have Friday funnies. Grab your SNLs, grab your Mad TVs, grab your SCTVs. We're going to laugh, throw it on a wheel, and have a great time. And then Saturday night, we have Keeping It Wheel, the music show. Always a fun time. And then Sunday morning, Patriots, it is the Great Awakening morning show as we're slowly creeping up on episode 300. I believe Sunday will be 293, but holy cow, man. Thank you guys so much for this journey. And thank you, the Titan crew, for showing me the way, making the videos, going through the live streams. And here we are into the future, still rocking and rolling, even after the not another 4-year election. Always a great time. And Mondays, we have predictive programming shows. Guys, if you missed last Monday, go check it out. There's this show on Hulu called Devs, D-E-V-S. It goes into simulation theory, looking glass, parallel worlds. Very, very, very cool stuff.
Where is this
always
again?
a pleasure. DEVS. It's on Hulu. It came out in 2016, or no, it came out in 2020 or 2016. Only 8 episodes, and it goes into looking glass and looking into the future, probability, game theory. Absolutely fascinating. Check that out. Thank you guys for a great show. And thank you, G Quick and Swickley. Thank you, Dow Joe, as well. And as always, Patriots, have faith, be encouraged, dig, meme, and pray. And where we go, one, we go all. God wins. Much love, tribe.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Space Shot.
Yes, sir. Got to be short and sweet. But guess what? After another month, like I said, Rdoc, we can go late till 2 in the morning if you want, and then you guys are gonna be the ones closing the show out, not me. But no, thank you to all the mods out there. We do appreciate your help greatly. Always a big hat tip to country and folks over at Liberty Base News, formerly the Patriot News crew. Thank you very much for all the gifted subscriptions to the channel. That greatly helps my ability to continue doing this going forward. And thank you all for helping me reach 40K over here. So I do appreciate that. And mods, country, Patriot. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. I want to give a big thank you to the Pill group over there for thrice. Oh, gifted the can, boom, boom, boom. The truth is loose. Q shook me all night long. Dropped the can. Sanjo with a can. One Thunder with the cookie. Juki with the shade. Sanjo with a cookie. Another cookie. Rookie cookie dough. I try to say that 7 times in a row. It says gifted the cookie. Hi, all you red pillars. God bless you and bought you all cookies. Chatty KC gifted the cookie. Mad Hat 1 dropped the cookie. Not much, but what I can do. I love this show. Much love. Appreciate it out there. Woke and Walked gifted the shades. Happy Table of Titans Thursday. God bless Hulk, Space Shot, Rdoc, Tron, and the whole Foxhole fam. Let's go. Thank you, TOT, for years of real news and analysis. Lizzie B gifted the cookie. Woke and Walked with 182 gold pills. Woke and Walked with a cookie and another cookie and another cookie. Sean Joe with a cookie. One Thunder with a cookie, and Schwicky with the 500 gold pills. Thank you, everybody over there. We appreciate that very, very, very much. I'm going to drop the scratchings here just 1 second out there.
I got 1 second too,
released.
I got
what you need, brother?
I just wanted to thank Liz. I almost forgot D-Live because it's going away, but thank you very much to Liz G, Rdoc, and Susie Q. Which platforms are you guys going to go over to, Pilled or Rumble? Last choice would be YouTube, but just, shooting it out there. But released the scratchings over there, coming at you in 2, 1. I put 5,000 diamonds in there earlier, so Rdoc got 3,500 and Debbie Roush got 2,000 of them.
So just as a reminder, he had mentioned that D-Live will be going away. They came out with an announcement, and they're going to be folding a broadcast over there on the D-Live. So whatever you got over there, get it off the platform, and it'll be probably gone in the next 30 days or so. So sayonara with that. And with that being said, Space Shot always says,
we do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful World Patriots for tuning in out there. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.
Much love. Be good humans.
Hello, guys. Something special is happening in here. That's right. It's brackets and jackets. Bringing it back for brackets and jackets. Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks. Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see, this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh, boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jackets Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. All right, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know? Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Bryan Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. That's right, we're dropping red pills every day. Dropping red pills in the best kind of way. This is brackets and jackets for the denizens of islands.